Hey everyone, welcome back to SFDC Stop, and in this video we are going to learn about ES6 promises, right? So in the last video we discussed about this thing, that what is an API callout. It is nothing but request to an external server, and we also discussed about how we can make an API callout by implementing this API callout function where we'll be passing the data to our API, and then we'll be having two methods: success callback and error callback. And in case my API callout is successful, my success callback method will be called, and in case it is a failure, my error callback method will be called, right? So in this case, I mean in today's video, we are just going to use ES6 promises, and we'll be implementing the same stuff that we implemented in the last video, but we'll be simplifying it using promises, right? So if I just talk about what is a promise is nothing but an object, you can say, which specifies the success or failure, of an asynchronous operation, right? So this is known as a promise. That is nothing but a success or failure of an asynchronous operation. So let's define this API callout function again, and this time we'll be using promises. Okay. So I'm just going to define a new function which is named as API callout. This function is going to take a single parameter this time, which is nothing but a message or the data that I want to pass to my API. And what this function will do, it will return me a promise. So it will return me a new promise. So this promise class is going to take a single parameter inside the constructor, which is nothing but a function. And this function will be having two parameters. One is resolve and second is reject. So it is the same thing that we did earlier. It is just that we have just, you can say, improvised the syntax. So here also we were having a message, a success callback and error callback, right? So here the message is passed inside the function, and the success callback is this, which is known as resolve, and the error callback is this, which is known as reject, right? So inside this promise you will be performing an API callout, and you will see that you will be performing an API callout, and you will see that if the API callout is successful, you will be calling resolve method. Okay, and in case there is an error in the API callout, so if there is an error, then you will be calling reject method. Okay, so this is how, I mean, you can call the promises by using the resolve and reject method. So let's take on our example. In our example, we were using set timeout function to perform an API callout, right? Because I mean we were just mocking it up that set timeout function will use some time to return the response. So this set timeout function will receive a function inside it, and inside this I can say that it will be returning me the response after 1 second. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to call the resolve method inside this function. So here we are assuming that our API callout is successful, like we did before. So we are assuming that our API callout is successful, and in case our API callout is successful, we'll be calling the resolve method. So we have just called the resolve method out here, and inside this resolve method I can pass whatever I want to pass as a response of my API. So I can also pass the response of my API that I'm getting, and for now I'll be passing the message itself that I'm receiving from above, right, like we did earlier. So I'm just going to pass the message in the resolve method. Okay, so let's see how we can call this function, and what is the way to do so. So I can simply call my API callout method. It will be receiving a parameter. I'm going to say let's pass in first, and after this API callout is performed, what it will be returning me? It will be returning me a promise. So how can I catch this particular promise? I can catch this promise by using the then function, right? This function, it will just attach the callback of the resolution or the rejection of the promise. So I'm going to add this then function, and this then function will receive the value that I'm passing in the resolve method. You can just consider it like this, that the resolve parameter is automatically mapped with the then function, right? So I can simply have a function inside this that that will be receiving my message or my response, right? And inside this I can simply add a console.log statement where I can say that response, and then I can say let's say call out and then perform, right? And in case there is an issue or an error, in that case my reject method will be called. So that reject method will be automatically mapped to my catch method. So this catch will again receive a function inside this, which will be having an error or an error message, whatever it is. I mean, it depends on what you're passing inside the reject. Like I passed inside resolve, right? So whatever you're passing inside this, it will be received in this parameter error, and I can simply do console.log error. Okay. So this is how, I mean, you can perform an API call out using promises. Let's run this code once and let's see how it goes. Okay, so first call out performed. As you can see, I'm getting a message which is known as first call out performed. So the first message that I passed in the API call out function, it is received out here, and then I'm returning a promise. And inside my promise, my API call out is successful. I'm assuming that, and I'm passing the message inside resolve. I mean, whatever parameter that you pass inside resolve is received inside the function in then, and then I can simply use that message to display the actual message, that is first call out performed. So this first is passed from here, and then it is received here, then it is passed in here, and then it is received in here. Okay, and then I am showing my message which is first call out performed. Let's say I have multiple callouts, like I was doing chaining of callouts, right, in the last video when we performed or we can say we created a pyramid of doom. But in this case, it is not that tough that I'll be doing callouts inside other functions. So what I can do, I can simply call my API caller function inside this then method, or I can say inside the function inside the then method. And what can I do? I can simply do it like this: API callout and then second. Okay, and I can return this API callout as well. So why I'm returning this API callout second? Because this API callout is again going to return me a promise, and this promise I'm going to return from this then function. And when I'm going to return this promise from this then function, it will again be received in another then function. So I can add another then function after this, and I can add a console.log statement that this particular callout is performed. What will happen now is that my first message will go here, and it will be going in the resolve method. It will be received here, and I'll get a message which is known as first callout performed. As the first callout is performed, I'll be performing the second callout. So my second message will go there. It will be received here. It will be added in the resolve, and this particular promise will be returned. And I'll return this promise from here. And as this promise is returned from here, it will be received in the next then. And when my promise is received, I'll get the message which is passed in the resolve in this particular response method, and I can show my second console.log which will say response and then callout performed. So this second will be basically received in this particular response, and this first will be received in this particular response variable. Okay, and in case at any point of time there is an error, then we can have a single catch function at the end, because if there is an error, then the other callouts won't be called. I mean, other API callout won't happen. So in that case, I can simply console.log that error. So I don't need to create multiple catch functions, because one catch function is suitable at the end to receive any kind of error. Okay, so let's try this API callout and let's see how it goes. So after 1 second, first callout; after 2 seconds, second callout. So I can simply see here that my two callouts are performed successfully, and this code structure is certainly better than what we were doing inside you can say pyramid of doom, when we were having a lot of code and it was difficult to understand. Because here it is very simple: this callout is performed, then is called, and this callout is performed, this then is called. And even if I have multiple callouts, let's say I have a third callout, so I can simply use third, and then I can have another then after this to receive the response. And here I can do fourth, and I can have another then to receive the response. Here I can do fifth, and I can have another then to receive the response. So I am stopping it from here, because after the fifth callout I don't need to perform any kind of API callouts. I'm just removing this, and if I just execute this code, it will be performing first, second, third, fourth, and fifth callout one by one, and each callout is going to take 1 second of time. So let's try this and let's see what happens. So first callout, second callout, third callout, fourth callout, and then fifth callout, right? So this is the same thing that we performed in the last video, but instead of creating a pyramid of doom and complicating the stuff, we can simply use promises, which will be responsible for, you can say, performing any kind of callouts, right? So I just want to show you this catch method once as well. So let's say there is an error in our third callout, and after that I am going to receive the error in catch, right? So what can I do? I can simply say that inside this timeout function, I can simply say that if my message is third, so if I'm performing a third callout, then I'll not be calling resolve, I'll be calling reject in this case. So I can simply call reject, and I can pass the error in here. So I can simply say that error in third callout. Okay. So what it will check if the message is third, and then in that case it will be calling the reject method. And once this reject method is called, this resolve method won't be called after that, because I mean only one of the method can be called. Or for security you can add an else, but I think this is also fine. Okay. So let's try this once. So in this case, first callout should happen successfully, second should happen successfully, but in case of third callout, I should get an error. And once I have get an error, then the successful then operations won't be performed, and I should just move in here inside the catch method, right? So I can simply add one console.log again, just to confirm. So I can simply say inside catch. Okay. So let's run this code and let's see what happens. First call out, second call out, error. So here you can see first call out is performed, second call out is performed, and in case of third call out, it automatically goes inside the catch method, and it is showing me the message which is nothing but error in third call out. And this message I have passed in from the API callout method, because in case of third, I'll be passing the message inside the reject method which is error in third callout, and this message is automatically received by my catch method inside this error variable, and I'm displaying it here. And whenever there is a error, and then all the subsequent then functions won't be called, because I have already received an error, right? In case you wanna have, you wanna call those then functions even after you have received the error, then you can add such kind of statement like API callout fourth inside the catch as well, and then you can add subsequent then functions after the catch to continue the process. But I mean usually that doesn't happen, because if the callouts are dependent on one another, then if one of the callout is failing, there is no point of moving ahead and performing the fourth callout, right? But in case it is useful, or you have that kind of scenario that you have to perform a fourth callout even you are getting an error, then you can do that in a method that I told you right now. Okay. So yeah, this is how we can define promises. All we have to do is to return a new promise. It will have a function inside as a parameter, and this function will be having two parameters, resolve and reject. And in case of a successful response from API, I'll call resolve. In case of error, I'll call reject. And whenever I'm calling this method, I can have then functions changed one after the another, and inside this each of then function I'll be having a function which will be receiving the response, and this response is nothing but the message that I passed inside my resolve method. Okay. And in case there is an error, the error will be received by the catch method, and the function inside the catch method, and this error message is the same message that we are passing inside the reject method. Okay. So this is the syntax, and this is how easy it is to perform multiple callouts by using promises. And you can also simplify this thing, because if you use ES6, it is easy to simplify this thing. So let's say instead of defining a function, I simply do it like response, and then I can add a big fat arrow function, and then I can add something like this. So I can have a single line statements as well. So this will also work, right? Because this is the ES6 syntax that we have learned in the previous videos. So I can try it once again. So first call out, second call out. Oh, okay. So I just need to comment that code. Let me comment this. Sorry. Okay. And let's run it again. So first call out, second call out, third call out, fourth call out, and then fifth call out, right? So this fifth call out is coming from here, and here I'm using the ES6 syntax to simplify the things, right? Okay, so this is how promises are working. So the next thing that we are going to do is to simplify these promises, right? So how can we simplify them from this? Because we can simplify them as well. I mean, it can be more easier to call these promises as well. So I'm just going to comment out this code, and I'm going to run another code snippet which will perform the same operation, right? So let me just see if we can, yeah, comment this out and we'll see what we can do, right? So what I can do, I can use the async await syntax. So async await concept. So how can I use that? Let's see. First of all, we need to create an asynchronous function by using the keyword async. So I can simply do it like uh, async, okay. And let's say I want to perform multiple callouts, right? So I can name it as multiple API callouts, and this function will perform multiple API callouts, okay. So async function multiple API callouts, and inside this function, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say that const result1 is equal to API callout, and then I'm going to pass the message which is first, okay. And I can simply add a console.log which will say result1 and then API callout performed, okay. And I can also add one keyword, so that is await, right? So await and then API callout, that's it. If I want to perform second callout, I can just copy and paste this thing, third callout, fourth callout, and then fifth callout. So that's how easy it is to perform 5 callouts. Let me write second here. So it's second, and then it is third, then it is fourth, then it is I can say fifth, okay. And the result of the first API callout is stored in result1 const variable. The result of the second API callout will be stored in result2. The result of the third API callout will be stored in result3. The result of the fourth API callout is stored in result4, and the result of the fifth API callout is stored in result5. So what this await keyword is doing? I mean, I have used two keywords. One is async and one is await, right? So async keyword is telling that this function is going to perform some asynchronous operations, and await keyword is basically performing a callout, and all the rest of the code is waiting for the response from this particular method, which is going to be stored in this particular variable. So once it is returning the response for the promise, particularly the response, then only I am going to move ahead, or the JavaScript is going to perform, or you can say execute the other code, okay. So, how can I catch the error in this case? I can simply add a try and catch like we do in other programming languages. So, I can simply move all this inside a try, and I can have a catch method which will receive the error, and I can simply do console.log error, and that's it, right? So this particular code snippet is equivalent to what we did above by using promises and then catch and all that stuff, right? So instead of all this, you can simply write this particular code snippet and it is fine. Let me just execute it once and let's see if it is working fine or not. So let's execute it. Okay, I got that. We haven't called this multiple API callout function because we have defined it, but we haven't called it right now. Let me just copy and paste it here, and we'll be calling it down here. Okay. So I'm performing multiple API callouts, and let's see what happens now. So let's call this callout 1, callout 2, callout 3, callout 4, and callout 5, right? So we have performed 5 API callouts, one after the another, by using async and await keywords. So this is just a way to define an asynchronous function, and you can call this function like any other function. And inside this, just make sure that you are having await keyword after each and every function which is going to perform, I mean before each and every function call which is going to perform a callout, and the result of the callout will be stored in this. In case there is an error in any of the callouts, this catch method will be called automatically. So basically, whatever you are returning from this, or you are passing in this particular resolve method, that message which is passed in the resolve is received in the const automatically. So this is what result1, result2, result3, result4, and result5 are storing, and that's what and I mean using that I'm able to display these statements, that is first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Because you remember when I have passed first, then I was passing first in the resolve, so it is received here, and I'm displaying a console.log that first API callout performed. Similarly, it's happening for second, third, fourth, and fifth. And I think let us try the catch part once as well. So I'm just going to comment it out. And in case of catch, we added this kind of if statement that in case message is third, I'll be receiving an error in the third callout, right? and it will be calling the reject method, and it will be passing a message which says error in third callout. And ideally what should happen, the message which is passed inside the reject method should have been received here, and it should display it here, right? So let's clear this and let's run it again. So first call out, second call out, and error in third call out. So what happened here? First call out performed, second call out performed, and when the third call out was performed, the response was not received in this variable because it leads to an error, and that error was captured by this catch method, and we can simply say that error in third call out. This method is, this message is displayed here. And how I pass this message to the catch? I pass this message to the catch by using the reject method, right? So this is how promises are working in JavaScript, and in case you want to simplify your code, you can use the async await function as well. And this is kind of a top-down approach, which is usually preferred by developers, and that's why I wanted to show you this as well. So yeah, I think that's all for this tutorial, everyone. I hope you liked it. Let me know your feedback in the comments down below. And you can find all the code that we did in this tutorial in the link, GitHub Git link that I'm going to share in the description of the video. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.